Good morning, everyone, to this webinar about the open call for solvers organized by the InnoBuyer project. We have now like 30 people joining, and the number is increasing, but we are just going to kick it off. So the webinar will start with a presentation and introduction from our project officer, Ms. Bertrand Bert, from the European Innovation Council. Following, we'll present what InnoBuyer is about, but really in a nutshell. And then we will focus on the topic of the webinar, that is the open call for solvers, like how to submit a proposal, how the proposal has to be written, which are the evaluation criteria, which is the process of the submission, how to find the questions on the website. And at the end of the webinar, we will open a session for questions and answers. Just a few housekeeping rules. This is a webinar, so all of you are muted and the cameras are closed. The session will be entirely recorded and it will be uploaded in the InnoBuyer channels. Give us like 1 or 2 days after this session. All the questions will be organized through the question and answer box that you can find in the bottom of your screen. So please feel free to start sending questions when you have them. Don't wait until the end of the webinar. So without any further ado, I'm going to give the floor to Bertrand Bert. As I said, he is the project officer of the project InnoBuyer, and he's part of the European Innovation Council. So Bertrand, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Miriam. Muchas gracias. And good morning, everyone. I'm Bertrand Bert. I do work for the European Innovation Council and for the team that is working for the Business Acceleration Services. In other words, I'm working for this European program that is dedicated to the support of very innovative SMEs, startups, but also innovators and researchers. And on the top of offering financial equity support to the companies, to these people, we are also offering extra services, and InnoBuyer is part of it. The aim here, I mean, for the one that already know a little bit InnoBuyer, or for the one that don't know yet what is InnoBuyer and what it can offer to you, well, it's rather simple. We are trying here to and we made it successfully, being able to attract potential clients for SMEs and startups, notably from the European Innovation Council, but not only. And these potential clients, public or private, that we call buyers or procurers, they came to us and with 15 challenges of innovation, or 15 needs, or 15 business opportunities that could be offered to you. So we are at the stage, as Miriam said, that we are now opening these challenges, and you will have SMEs, startups, until next January 24. You will have the time to prepare actually your answer to the needs that they're proposing. You can find all these needs on the website of InnoBuyer. We will go through also today, but you can also find them described in much more details actually on the YouTube channel of InnoBuyer projects, where you do have all these 15 market consultation, as we call them. So it's sessions of runner, roughly video session, where you can go in much more details of what's the content of these challenges. So these are unique opportunities for you companies actually to work on these potential business opportunities, and for that, indeed, you will need to know a little bit how you need to apply, and that's the aim of the session of today. So I'm very excited. I want to stress the fact that this is a decisive moment for InnoBuyer program. for the EIC also. And we really wish that we will have a maximum of SMEs and startups that will enter in this competition, let's say. And we really wish to see the best proposals coming by the end of January. So thank you again for being here, for the one that will look at the video afterwards, and remaining at your disposal for any other questions or details. So the floor is back to you, Miriam, Miguel, and Katia, and I really wish you an excellent session this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bertrand, and thank you very much for encouraging the companies to submit proposals until the end of January. So I am Miriam Martin. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm one of the partners of this project, InnoBuyer, and I work for TIC Biomed, that is a cluster organization based in Spain, in Murcia. So the reason I wanted to address just this point is like, why are we working on procurement of innovation? And the reason why we are working on procurement of innovation is because we see that there are many key benefits for both the demand side and the supply side. When we mention demand side, we mention all those organizations that have capacity to procure services. So for those organizations, by working on procurement of innovation, it is much easier to improve the quality and efficiency of the services, basically because those services will respond, will answer to a need that has already been identified. So we'll address societal challenges, existing societal challenges. On the side of the supply side, the companies that are working on these solutions, it is much easier for them to validate their solutions, to co-create and develop solutions that are better addressed to the needs of the potential clients. But also they consider the user perspective in an easier way. So that's the reason why we are working in procurement, in procurement of innovation, because we firmly believe that there is benefit for both the organizations buying the solutions, but also for the organizations developing them. So when we started working in InnoBuyer, we just wanted to answer a few questions. It's like, the first thing is we are all talking about demand-driven need identification, but how do we identify a clear need and how we define a clear challenge that is easily understandable by the companies that have to develop the solution? Also, we wanted to answer, the question is like, once we have the need, how do we manage to get the best in class, the best solutions that are available in the market? How we spread the word saying that we are looking for a solution on those concrete areas. Once we have identified the companies, which is the way to perform the co-creation in the best way, to get the best of both sides from the demand and the supply side, which are the mechanisms and those key areas that we have to pay attention to in order to really develop a successful co-creation process. And finally, once we have the solution, how are we able to ensure that those solutions that we have developed are finally procured or are finally adopted by the market? So answering these 4 questions, we developed this methodology, the InnoBuyer methodology, that has 4 different phases. The first one, on the left-hand side, focus on the identification of the need. Here, we need to identify the need and transform that concrete need into a challenge. But we are also looking for similar buyers organization or that have the same need in order to aggregate them. So that was the first phase. That is already over. We are actually on the second phase, that is how to connect the innovative companies, the innovative SMEs with those needs or the challenges that we have already identified. As Bertrand mentioned, we identified 15 challenges. We have been working with them in this first phase, and now it is the time to launch this call for solvers, looking for companies able to answer to those challenges already identified. The next phase that will come after the companies are selected is the co-creation part. For the co-creation, companies and organizations, these procurers organizations, are going to be working together in the development of the solution. And for this phase, the companies will receive up to a little bit over 58,000 euros. And the organizations, the procurers organizations, will receive 6,500 euros. And the last phase of the process is, if the solution has been successful, it has reached the KPIs that we have set at the very beginning with the co-creation agreement, we will support the procurers organization in the development of the terms of reference. They will get expert support in order to prepare this legal documentation. So these are the 4 phases where InnoBuyer is implementing the methodology. As I said, we are now right at the end of the, let's say, the second phase, and the objective is to identify all these companies able to develop the solutions to meet the challenges, and then we will move into the 3rd phase. So I'm now giving the floor to Miguel Gonzalez. He is the coordinator of InnoBuyer, and he's going to walk you through the InnoBuyer website, providing information on how you can submit a proposal, but also what are we looking for in those proposals. So Miguel, the floor is yours. I will stop sharing my screen.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Miriam, for the introduction, and Bertrand as well. Let me share my screen really quickly. So it's really a pleasure to present you the details of the open call for solvers. It's been one of the major milestones of the InnoBuyer project that we have been working on, and it's a real pleasure to present it to you today. So in a nutshell, we will talk about an overview of the call for solvers, but also of the documents that are available to you to prepare a successful application. What are the activities to be funded? What are the eligibility criteria, meaning who can apply, but also the evaluation criteria that the external experts will have in mind when evaluating your evaluation, how to submit an application, what will be the evaluation process, what are the support tools that are at your disposal, and we will end up this section of the event with a Q&A. Please keep in mind that at any time you can post your question in the Q&A box here on Zoom, and we will go through them all at the end of the session. I will not show you more slides for this. I will really go into the specific tools that you will that are at your disposal to apply. So the first thing you should do if you are interested in the call for solving is go to the InnoBuyer website. So it's really the hub where all the information about the project, but also the call for solver is. So if you click on the top menu in the call for solvers, you will have all the information you need to submit a successful application. Well, first, with a little bit of concept that was already touched upon by Miriam. It's the context of the acquisition of innovation by public organizations really enables better and more efficient services delivery to citizens and customers. So that's what we want to improve. And that's why InnoBuyer offers this program to bring together challengers, so the public entities, with solvers, the innovative SMEs, to jointly co-create solutions. So the aim of the call is really to select and fund 15 innovative companies that we call the solvers, to co-create pilots addressing the specific innovation needs or challenge of public organizations. Okay, so this is really the aim of the call for solvers, and the co-creation process will have funding associated to it to be implemented in a 10-month period. So there are mainly 2 ways to apply to the InnoBuyer call for solvers. You, as an SME, as an innovative company, you can either tackle an InnoBuyer ready-made challenge. There are 12 of them, and so there are already 12 organizations eager to acquire solutions for their challenges. But there's also the option to apply in the track Open Challenge, in which you can team up with the public organization of your choice to solve their current problem, their current challenge, their public current innovation need. So you can you can do that by selecting the public organization of your network to whom you would like to work with. But special attention, that this track, the Open Challenge, is only open to EIC supported companies. So for both, you have to be an SME to apply for this, but for the Open Challenge, you must be an SME that is currently or previously funded by the European Commission. That's an important thing. So regarding the InnoBuyer Ready-Made Challenge, we have, as mentioned, 12 of them. They are divided in different sectors. So we have, from the healthcare sector, we have a few of them. You have here the list of the challengers that are proposing the challenge. You have the acronym of the challenge and a short description. And if you click on any of these links here, you will go to a specific page describing who is the challenge in more detail, but also describing a summary of the challenge. And you will also find a document with all the details about the challenge. So again, the organization description, the challenge description, and the solution functional requirements, compulsory functional requirements, desirable functional requirements, the scope of the pilot, that is the goal of the challenger, type and number of targeted end users, language, many aspects that if you are applying to InnoBuyer to tackle one of the 12 proposed challenges, you should really consider and read carefully before drafting your proposal, your solution for the pilot that you want to develop with a specific challenge. And also, if we go back to this page describing each one of the challenge, you also have at the end the recording of the open market consultation. So these are, as Bertrand mentioned in the beginning, recordings of more or less 45 minutes in which the challenger is really explaining, pitching the challenge, and also answering already questions from the solvers. So you should also really look into these videos that can help you when drafting your proposal for a specific challenge. Going back to the main innobuyer.eu/solvers, when you have all the information about the open call. So after the list of challenges, you have a brief description of the timeline. So as previously mentioned, you have until the 24th of January to submit your application at 17 CET, so Brussels time. After that, we will have a period for eligibility check and evaluation in January and March. Those are tentative dates, of course, up until now. We'll have then the contracting phase, and if you are selected, you will deploy your pilot from March 2024 to January 2025. What's in it for you, the solvers? You will get grants up to 58,500 euros. This is totally funded by the European Commission at 100%. This is not based on the invoices or administrative cost justification. It is based only on delivering successful pilots in the program, but more about that later. You will get access to potential customer, the challengers, either the ones proposed by InnoBuyer or the ones you will be onboarding if you are applying to the open call challenge track. You will work hands-on with challenge during a period of 10 months. You will understand how public organizations work and how solutions should be commercialized to them. And if the co-creation is successful, the challenger will be supported to prepare terms of reference to further acquire the solution that you have developed. So there's really a business opportunity here beyond the development of the pilot during 10 months, which is after that the challenger really launches a tender for you to apply to and to further sell what you've developed in the pilot phase. So this is really a business opportunity for any innovative SMEs. And of course, gain a first customer reference and increase your reputation when approaching other customers. So who can apply? If you are applying to the InnoBuyer Ready-Made Challenge, the 12 challenges proposed by InnoBuyer, you must be a small and medium-sized SME, and you must be from one of the member states of the European Union, the overseas countries and territories linked to the member states, or from an Horizon Europe associated country. If you are applying to the Open Challenge track, you must be a consortium. So you must be a consortium composed by one small and medium-sized SME, okay, but that SME should be currently or previously funded by the EIC. So that's the first major difference from applying to the ready-made challenge and the Open Challenge. And the consortium must be also, of course, you should onboard a public organization, right? So that public organization should be legally established in one of the following countries. Why these specific countries? Because InnoBuyer is also a test bed to test this methodology to make it faster, the creation of innovative solution between challenge and solvers. And we already onboarded from the 12 challenges that are proposed by InnoBuyer, public organization from the other EU member states. So we are really trying here to onboard public organization from other member states to test if this solution can be implemented across Europe. So this is just a small remark about why this country is here. But these countries apply only for the public organizations, okay? So if you are an SME here that is currently or was previously supported by the IC, you can be from any of the member states, overseas countries, or in Europe. This list of countries only apply to the public organization that you are onboarding to apply to the Open Challenge. Okay, hope it is clear, but more details on this also in the guidelines. So at the end of this call for solver page, you have your application kit with a lot of documents. So you have a first set of documents composed by the guidelines for applicants, which you can consider the terms and conditions of the open call that you should really read carefully. Then you have Annex 1, InnoBuyer Ready-Made Challenge. It's a document in PDF format that compiles the description of all the challenges that are proposed by InnoBuyer, the 12 ones. So instead of going one-on-one here in the website, you can download this document and you will have the description of the 12th challenge. And then there are two proposals template, proposal template A and proposal template B, depending on if you are applying to one of the challenges proposed by InnoBuyer. And this proposal template will be different from the other one. So if we start with, this is the proposal template A, it's for applicants addressing one of the 12 challenges proposed by InnoBuyer, and you have a limit of 6 pages, and the sections that are here described match the evaluation criteria. So please make sure that you read carefully what is requested here for you to describe, and you will have to save this document at the end in PDF format and submit it in the F6S platform. But you have here the instructions about how to fill this for your perusal. Then we also have the proposal template B for applicants addressing a challenge not proposed by InnoBuyer. Here you have more space to describe your proposal. And why is that? Because it has a section at the beginning where you should describe the challenger and the challenge that you are onboarding, that you are selecting, that you will be working with to develop then your solution. So you have more space here to describe the challenge and who is the challenger, pilot condition, etc. And also a difference from the other template is that at the end, you will be invited to add Annex A, which is a letter of commitment from the challenger. So a letter that explains, signed by the challenger, explaining the interest in participating in InnoBuyer and the interest of developing a solution. And optionally, you can attach a letter of support from any other public organization that eventually share the same challenge and could eventually follow your developing the InnoBuyer program. So you can already think about other public organizations that you will not be working with in the 10-month period to develop a solution, but that could eventually be interested in the results, so you can expand your potential clients at the end of the pilot. Coming back to the list of documents. You have a second set of documents, which are the declaration of owner, the bank account information, the co-creation agreement template, and the SME declaration that you don't need to submit or fill in at the application stage. You will only need to sign or fill these documents if you are selected to join the InnoBuyer program, but they are here for you to read, and so you know firsthand what will be the documents for you to agree with if you are selected. So I will come back now to the most important document that is here, which is the guidelines for applicants. It's really the document with the 33 pages that has all the information that you need to submit a successful application. So we will go through it and pointing the most important aspects. So it starts with the glossary in terms of what we meant of each concept. The context, the call for solvers. You have here a table that summarizes the call in a nutshell. But what is important that was not already said we repeat here the fact that we have two ways to apply for InnoBuyer Call for Solver, the ready-made challenge and open challenge. Again, you have here the list of the challenges proposed by InnoBuyer. The timeline that was also referred in the open call page. And the description of the activities to be funded. So first, the pilot co-creation. So each pair of selected challenger and solver is expected to collaborate for a period of 10 months to implement the solution. You will do that by signing a co-creation agreement and working collaboratively to co-develop those solutions. If the pilot is a success, the challenger will receive additional support to move ahead with the development of terms of reference, meaning that the challenger will receive financial support to have legal counseling to prepare terms of reference to really launch a tender to then acquire the solution. If you are selected, you'll have some deliverables to submit to the InnoBuyer program. So you will have an interim report on the pilot co-creation deployment at the end of the 5th month of the 10-month program, describing the implementation of the activities, the status of the pilot, etc. And another report at the end of the 10-month reporting again your implementation activities. And there will be another deliverable only for the public challengers regarding their activities in developing the terms of reference specification. And at the end of each phase, there will be an evaluation of successful completion that is described here. The support to be provided are split among the challenger and solver in each of the phases. But in a nutshell, each solver can get from the InnoBuyer program 58,500 euros, and each challenge can get up to 21,500 euros from InnoBuyer. So it's really a good opportunity to get support and get funding as well. Origin of the funds, this is totally supported by the European Union via the European Innovation Council. And let's go a little bit deep now into the eligibility criteria. So who can apply for this? So again, if you are applying to tackle one of the 12 ready-made challenges proposed by InnoBuyer, you must be an SME, a small and medium-sized enterprise. You have here in a nutshell what means to be an SME according to the EU SME definition, but other condition may apply to be an SME. So this is really a self-assessment that you should do to analyze if you are an SME or not. And you should be legally established in one of the following countries. So the member states of the European Union, the overseas countries and territories linked to the member state, or one of the countries in the Horizon Europe Associated Country list. And you have here a link to the list that you can check. If you are applying to address and tackle a challenge not proposed by InnoBuyer, then you must be a consortium proposed by a small and medium-sized enterprise and a public organization. And here, again, you have different eligibility criteria. So these small and medium-sized enterprise must be an SME according to the EU definition, must be previously or currently funded by the European Innovation Council, and again, established in one of these countries mentioned here. And the public organization should be a public organization according to the definition in this article, and should be established in one of these countries that are mentioned here. And each consortium must be led by the SME. So it will be the SME taking care of the application and submitting the application for InnoBuyer. Then you have here a list of additional conditions that are usual in open call competitive calls that you should look at. Language, of course, everything regarding your application should be written in English. Only one proposal can be accepted for funding per applicant. You should submit your documents in PDF format to the application form. And the way to apply should be via the F6S platform. So you should go to this link here, where you have an application form composed by 4 sections. So the SME contact information, which has you will have to provide the SME name, country of headquarters, sector activity, VAT number, say if you were previously or currently funded by the European Innovation Council, your company webpage, and then the details of the contact person, full name, position, email, and phone number. Then there is section 2, it's about your proposal. So you will be able to identify if you are applying to address one of the 12 ready-made challenges proposed by InnoBuyer, or if you are bringing your own challenge. And a field here to upload your proposal in PDF format. When I mean proposal, I mean one of these 2 templates filled in that was previously presented. And please make sure you submit it in PDF format. And section 3, you will have eligibility screening section, where you will have to tick this box, making sure that you comply with the eligibility criteria of the call. And tell us how you heard about InnoBuyer, and click on apply for InnoBuyer. So this process should be straightforward. You have other consideration about data protection that you should read. The deadline, don't forget that you have until January 24th until 17 Central European Time, Brussels time, to submit your application. Updates and other information submitted after this hour will not be taken into consideration, either by the InnoBuyer consortium or the evaluators of the call. Then you have we'll go into the evaluation criteria. So you will start by, this is the criteria that will be used by the external evaluator, but also the challengers that are involved in the ready-made challenge to evaluate your proposal for the pilot. So you have different weightings here. So 30% for the excellence criteria to measure the extent that the proposed solution is ambitious, has innovative potential, and is beyond the state of the art, enhancing the innovation capacity and integration of new knowledge and the implementation of such innovations to the market. The alignment, of course, we want the solution to be aligned to the challenge. So it will be at 34% weighting. Commitment, the extent to which the proposal demonstrates that the pilot impacts the challenger's business, and ambition to go beyond the pilot. So we are not looking for applicants who want only to take advantage of the funding proposed by InnoBuyer for the development of the pilot. We really want to create good synergies here between challengers and solvers that can continue beyond InnoBuyer. So that we will try to measure that in the evaluation of the proposals. And implementation and value for money, appropriateness of the pilot planning and budget associated with each phase, and appropriateness of the resources to implement the pilot, and experience of your team in the challenger sector as well. Then there are a few details about how we will do that for you to read carefully. Application submission, again, You have all the information in the InnoBuyer InnoBuyer website and the call for solver page. Really, you should read all the documents and submit your application on this page that was previously shown. Other information about, and then what happens after you submit an application. So it's received through the FCCS platform. We will run an eligibility check. If your proposal is eligible, we'll go through the remote evaluation with external experts. The top proposals for each challenge will be invited to an online interview so the experts can learn a little bit more about your proposal. And after that, the experts will have a meeting that we call a consensus meeting. And from this consensus meeting, this consensus meeting will result in a ranking list to identify which are the proposals selected for funding, the ones who will be in the reserve list, and the ones that will be rejected. So the selected ones, we will be invited to sign a sub-grant agreement, a co-creation agreement with the InnoBuyer consortium and the public organization involved. And after that, you will start your pilot co-creation activities in InnoBuyer. Other information here that details that process for you to read carefully again. The selection. The top ranked proposal for each challenge proposed by InnoBuyer will be selected for funding, except for Farmer Vessel and Reshape, which will go through a conditional selection that is described here below. And also the top 5 ranked proposals that do not address one of the challenges proposed by InnoBuyer will also be selected for funding directly. So in a nutshell, that's the way we will select proposals, but there are some conditional selection that you may also read here as described there. Communication of result. At the end of the evaluation process, each applicant, selected or not, will receive an evaluation summary report and a letter informing of rejection, decision, or invitation to enter the negotiation phase. And there's also an appeal procedure for you to have a look at if needed in the process. This negotiation section of these guidelines for applicant explain what will happen once selected and how to prepare the contract. You may also want to read this section about responsibility of beneficiaries that focus on conflict of interest, data protection and confidentiality, promotion of the action, but this only affects the ones that will be selected. Your participation in financial audits and controls if needed. Consideration about intellectual property, and there's an helpful section here, section 10, self-assessment before submitting your application, for you to think about all the crucial points before you submit your application. Other open call documents. So you have these guidelines for applicants, this document. You also have the Annex 1 InnoBuyer ready-made challenge description with the description of the 12 challenge. You have your proposal template A if you are applying for one of the 12 ready-made challenge, or your proposal template B if you are applying for a challenge not proposed by InnoBuyer, and the list of documents that you will have to sign or agree with if you are selected. There's also support for you in this phase when you are applying. So you can use the online Q&A of this call for solvers. So it's a place where anyone can post questions, and the InnoBuyer consultants will be here answering them. So this will be visible to everyone. So we invite you, if you have questions about the call for solver, to post them here. You can also visit or frequently asked questions in the InnoBuyer portal. So again, we have prepared a list that we usually receive on open calls. So details about the program, who is eligible, how to participate, how does the evaluation process work. So you can really visit this part here if you have any questions before going to the Q&A section. You should apply, of course, going to the application page that we showed here. If you have any trouble with the F6S platforms in terms of accessing it and etc., you can use these support email from F6S to solve your issues. You have all the information on the innobuyer.eu/solvers webpage. And for extraordinary communication needs, you can also send an email to info@innobuyer.eu, but really for extraordinary communication needs. If not, we really invite you to go to the frequently asked questions or online Q&A to ask your questions. And I think that's it in a nutshell. So I think we can now go back to the presentation and open the Q&A session to see what type of questions you would like to have answered.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Miguel, for a really thorough presentation on the call and just guiding all the participants to the InnoBuyer website. We already have some questions. Some of them, I think you have already given the answer, but I think it's worth it just to focus on them. So one of them is, can a solver, an SME located in a country different from the one of the challenger still participate to the specific call?
The answer is clearly yes. So they don't have to be from the same country. This is actually also encouraged. So this is InnoBuyer is a European project, so really keen in having collaboration across different countries. So the SME can be from the same country of the challenge or not.
If I can complement here, but just please keep attention that the co-creation is between teams of the procurer organization and the SME. So you need to be able to communicate somehow. So although English is the like the working language within InnoBuyer, it would really facilitate if you are able to communicate with the procurer's organization. Okay. The second question is, are there any additional challenges planned in the other verticals areas like circular economy, or is the current list of the 15 challenges definitive for this call?
Okay, so clarification here. In this call, we are proposing 12 challenge, not 15. And these list of challenges are closed, so we will not have additional challenge proposed by InnoBuyer. As mentioned, if you would like to address other challenge, you can apply for the track open challenge, but have in mind that you have to meet a little bit different eligibility criteria if you apply for that track.
Thank you very much, Miguel. And the other question is there a list of public organizations in each member state that put forward the needs challenges?
Okay, so beyond the challenge proposed by InnoBuyer, we don't have any other list of public organizations from each member state that put forward their needs or challenge. So it's really up to you, the applicant, the solver, to look what will be the public organization that will make sense for you to co-develop a pilot with.
New question referring to the somehow the creation of consortium is like, can you apply with a partner for an open challenge if you could, for example, solve half of the challenge and need some help? So maybe your organization is not able to address the full challenge, so can you submit a proposal with another SME?
So, okay, very good question. The answer is no. We are looking for a consortium of one SME and one public organization. So if in the development of your pilot, you will need some support for another SME, that will be an arrangement with you and that SME. But for applying for the call for solvers here, we are looking for only for consortium for one SME and one public organization.
What about the 12 challenges that are already identified? Could we accept proposals that are submitted by two SMEs together, like forming a consortium of two SMEs?
very good question, and the answer is no. We are only looking for one SME.
The next question is, in the first slides, it was mentioned 6.5 euro, 6,500 euros for challengers.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 6,500 or 21,500 euros?
Okay, so that's a very good question. Let me go back to the guidelines for applicants to make it maybe clearer. So if we go to the funding support, you will see that the total for a challenge is really 21,500 euros. It will be 33,000 for the first phase of the pilot, 3,500 for the second phase of the pilot, plus 15,000 if the pilot is a success and the challenger will need help to this phase of development of the terms and conditions.
Yeah, I think Miguel, maybe the confusion comes from my slides. So on the phase 1, the support for the companies and the procurers was different. So the different figures that were on that slide, that's why they refer to the first slides, the amounts were split in the different phases. So for this concrete phase, the figures are the ones that Miguel has just presented.
Yes, the 6,500 are from this phase, and the rest is here. So that's why the total for a challenge is 21.5.
Next question. Why are open challenges restricted to SMEs previously or currently funded by EIC?
Okay, so this is also, I don't know if we have Bertrand in the call.
Bertrand has already left, I'm afraid.
Which will be the perfect person to explain this, but I'll also do it. So this is, InnoBuyer is a project funded by the European Union via the EIC, the European Innovation Council, that really is helping startups and innovators across Europe to scale up and develop. So the InnoBuyer program was also comes from that line of strategy. And it's an additional support for those SMEs who received funding from the EIC previously to continue to, let's say, a next step of meeting and bring their solution to the market. So that's why the open call, the open challenge track is reserved to previously and currently companies currently or previously funded by the EIC.
Thank you. Next question refers to the double funding. It's like, are there any restrictions towards applying funding received if the company has already received FSTP funding in another EC project open call?
So if you are using the funds to develop totally different things and are not funding the same, it's totally okay. So the double funding, the point should be, the emphasis should be on that. You should make sure that you are not funding the development of the same activities. But of course, you can apply for different open calls to receive funding to do things, different things.
Here, the next one is: are any type of topic industry eligible for the open challenge?
The open challenge track is sector agnostic, so we can accept proposals and challenge from any topic of industry. The aim here is really to solve public organization challenge, whatever they may be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, next question, it's quite similar to the open challenge, is can an SME apply to a challenge and to a non-listed challenge? Are considered different? I think it's again the difference in between the two different tracks. Miguel. So the question is, can an SME apply to a challenge and to a non-listed challenge? So I guess here is like, can you apply to
both tracks?
Both? Yes.
Okay, we are, as mentioned on the guidelines for applicants, only one application will be selected for funding, and there's also a limitation to one proposal per SME. So you should choose which track you want to apply to.
Thank you. Next one. Can an SME apply for one challenge proposed by the InnoBuyer and an open one, bringing a different public organization of the same nature of the InnoBuyer proposed? The two solutions use similar technology, but for different scope and pain. I think that you have already answered that.
I think it's the same question, type of question. Yes, you should choose only one.
Next one, SME instrument phase 1 companies are considered EIC awarded companies, I suppose. Is that correct?
I think it's correct. The way we will identify this is you will ask you in the application form to identify the number of the grant agreement that you have signed with the European Innovation Council. So I think it's correct.
I think you have also answered this one. For the open challenge, do we need to stick to any specific area?
No.
Sector agnostic.
Exactly.
Okay, next one. Can you apply for the two different challenges?
Again, one.
Yeah.
Only one.
Okay. So we haven't got any other questions. Nevertheless, as Miguel pointed out, we have a section on the website where you can send us the questions that will, I don't know, come to your mind after this webinar or when you are preparing your proposal. So please access to that section, submit us the questions, and we will answer as soon as possible. I really ask you to follow this procedure and send the questions through the website and through the system that we have already set. The thing is, all those questions will be published. So in order to be transparent, the consortium shouldn't answer the questions directly. So please follow the procedures that we have explained on the webinar. Is there any other question? Oh. Okay, so I think that we can wrap up and insist on those questions that have been like more insistent. And the open call is sector agnostic, so you can submit proposals for any sector. And the second one is like shouldn't submit two proposals, please only one proposal. You have to make a choice either to submit a proposal for the challenges or submit a proposal for the open calls. But please keep in mind for the open calls, it is addressed to those companies that are EIC companies. Okay, I don't know if there's any other question that has been repeated. But I wanted to focus on those main areas. Is there any other information that you would like to provide, Miguel?
Not at this stage, but really to encourage participants to apply to our call. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and use the channels that were mentioned. We are here to support you on that as well, and really looking to bring the innovative minds to solve this social challenge that we have here offering. InnoBuyer can really be a game changer in innovation procurement field, as written in the slide. So we trust this process will be a success with your participation. That is crucial.
Building on that information, I would encourage all the participants to submit a proposal. Please check the platform before, make sure that it works and that your company is registered in the F6S platform. And if possible, do not wait until the last 24 hours to submit the proposal, because sometimes technicalities are an issue, and we have this deadline, and the deadline is hard. So we are not going to accept any proposal that have not been submitted within the framework. So please check it out in advance, and we'll be happy to count and evaluate all the proposals submitted. And I wish you the best luck to you all.